Oops, oh, Mark just reminded me that I did not hit record. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right. Well, that's a cool milestone, Lisa. Really, really cool. So we're going to inhale and exhale. We're going to spend just a couple seconds here breathing. Oops, it's just my mouth is really crooked. Yeah. Just feel your feet while you breathe. See if you can spread your toes out. Find that tripod of your foot. Good. And one more breath. Just being still and starting to open up spaces, noticing where you're stuck. So I tend to be stuck right here in the front of my hip. I sit in there. I want to open that up. Maybe you tend to get stuck in the back of your knees. Maybe you need to open that up, or even the front of your ankles. Or in this place in your back of your ribs, right? Right, those low ribs here tend to get stuck. Can we lift that up and put a little space there? And we don't lift the back of the ribs by lifting our chest. We literally lift the back of the ribs by lifting the back of the ribs. That will cause the chest to lower a little without collapsing. Yeah, nice, good. How about under your throat? Could you lift that space? And again, throat is not the same thing as your nose. Good, that's it, beautiful, okay. Nice, inhale, let's add a little exhale, press. Keep the spaces, good. Big inhale, exhale, release. Good. Inhale, expand, exhale, press. Good. Inhale and exhale. So now that you're adding a little bit of resistance, notice what happens to the spaces you just opened. Go through a little checklist. Good. 2 more breaths, just running through the checklist. Ankles, knees, hips, ribs, throat. Good, and last one. That's it, good, yeah. And release. Look at how lovely and long. If you're out of time, come do this first 4 minutes right here. Look at you, very good. All right, so take a nice inhale, exhale, bring your hands back again. Go through your checklist. Good, and then turn your head to the right and to the left and to the center and slow release. Good. Inhale, exhale, press and turn. Good, and turn and center and release. Okay, so then go through your checklist again as you turn. So one of the places I lose space there is my collarbones. I shift. Maybe you actually turn your ribs instead. So as you're doing it again, just notice what you can keep open. Good. And if you haven't already, if you've been starting all of them to the right, try a few starting to the left. That's it. Good. Yeah. And how do things change when your head direction starts differently? Good. Good. All right. Take a nice inhale. Exhale, round forward into a bow, stretching that upper back. Good. Inhale, exhale, lift on up. Rotate those palms forward and open up wide. Find that mid back. Good. And then back into neutral and through into your bow as you exhale. And inhale And exhale back up, rotating the palms, opening up wide. Find that mid back. There you go, good. And let's do 2 more. Inhale, exhale, forward. Coming up. Open that collarbone space. Good. And last one. That's it. Good. So what if you lifted your chest without dropping your low ribs down? What if you extended them upward? Just try. Just see what that feels like. So instead of back bending your way and compressing and shortening this space, what if you lifted that space? Not from the front, right? We're lifting from the back. Oh, I'm talking to all of us. Talking to all of us. But yes, you included. Yeah. All right, better. Okay, nice. Then let's take you, and we're gonna step forward. So I'm gonna back up a little bit because I want some more resistance on my strap. Again, looking for where you can open the joint a little bit. Good, and we're just gonna step forward with the left, press back with the left hand. Good, and then step home and alternate feet other side. Good. So now that you're in motion, can you feel what starts to compress? Right? Where does the stability go? What's trying to make, what joints are trying to jam together, basically. And for me and Lisa, we jam right here, in this rib, right? Deshelle, that's less so for you. But Mark also does that a little bit. He goes, what do I do? I'm just over here talking blah, 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 blah. That's all he hears.
A lot of words.
Yeah. It's like that Gary Larson cartoon, What Do Dogs Hear? At least he hears his name part. Like, not like the cat one where it's just blank space. Oh.
What did you say?
I'm not going to tell you now.
It's replay.
It says he'll watch the replay. So hopefully you've been also minding spaces, right? So noticing where we hunker into the joint. And it would be nice if we could step and keep spaces through the joints without falling from one side to the other of any particular major movement joint. And as you'll notice, there's a lot of them in our body as we move. Right? Armpits, back of ribs, hips, knees, ankles. Let's step with your left foot forward, your left hand back. Good. And then we're just going to drop into a little lunge, switch arms, come back up, press through that back foot. Good. And drop. Good. And this drop moment, think of all of your joints below your armpits getting longer. They're sinking away from your armpits. So you're letting gravity help create some length there. Good. 2 more. That's it. Good. And last one. Good. And then we'll step back to home and step forward with your right foot. Right hand steps back. Good. And then same thing. Drop into that lunge. Notice what needs to get a little heavier, what needs to let gravity help pull it away from your armpits. You can think of that C7, right? Your withers, the bump that's at the base of your neck, pulling up more, and the rest of you just hangs off of that spot like clothes on a hanger. That's it. Good. Good. Look how nice. Let's do one more. Good. And then we'll step back to home. Very good. Let's take a step. I want to step a little bit to my left just so I don't bump into Mark. We're going to step to the right. Pull your palms open. Good. So you have palms facing your mount. Good. That's it. And then come back to home. Press them down. Good. And same side again. Step out. Pull them open. Sit a little deeper now. Good. And back to home. That's it. So we're using the strap, hopefully, in this nice wide place to find that same sense of lift through the back of your neck spine, but everything else in your spine just gets long and lets gravity put that space in for you. Yeah. There you go. Good. Good. Two more. Pulling open. Yep. Let the back of your spine drop. Your tail drops. Yep. Good. And in. Good. Good. And then let's hold this one out here to your right. Good. And then we're just going to take ourselves right into our pivoting windmill. So the left knee bends in, right arm comes up. Just start gentle as you come around. It's your first big windmill of the morning. Good. And then pivot all the way back into second position. Good. And we're going to do it again. So pivot, press. Good. I feel like we haven't done a windmill in a couple of weeks. Is that possible? I know. Good. Good. And one more time. Nice. Good. And then we'll just step back to home, and then we'll start stepping out into plie the other way. So I'm stepping out with my left foot, pulling open again, and again find the length, right? Tail dropping away from the spine, the neck spine. Good. And then bring it back in. You got it. And open. Drop. Good. Love you. Remind me which knee is the weird knee? The left one. Good. That's it. Find the openness. Especially here, armpit, spine, right? Let the spine drop. Good. Let's do two more. See if you can even let it get a little deeper. There you go. Good. That's it. Nice. Okay, then the next one we'll go into our windmill. So I'm stepping left, pivoting with the right leg under, making that big circle, pushing through that left arm. Keep the space in your left armpit as you circle around. Cut. And then do it again. Keep the space. Good. Good. And let's do one more. Keep reaching out. Good. Very nice. Yep. And then all the way back to home. Fantastic. A quick sip of water. Alrighty. And then we'll flip around. We'll turn the back to the mount. And then we're going to bring our feet into Pilates stance today. And we're going to stay straight up and down as we give a small press forward, just a little. So remember on Friday, we worked with that small effort, right? So I want us to find that small space here, just enough that you turn things on. Because in Pilates stance is actually harder than when we're in parallel. Good. And then release and exhale, press. Good. Inhale, hold it. Exhale, release. Inhale, reset your stance. Find your heels in the front of your tripod. Small press. So hopefully you're noticing that with the small press, you can let go of the tension here that a lot of us do, and instead allow that transverse abdominis to drop in a little bit. Yeah? Can you feel that? Or with that small press, some of us will immediately just throw our mass at it, right? We'll throw the torso at it. Here we're just trying to keep that line long as we can. Good. One more. Good. And then that same small little press, just enough that you feel the work and the resistance, you're going to do your forearm slide up your wall and down your wall. Just enough. Where do you need to counter that? For many of us, it's with those abs in the front because we want to bend backwards into it, or we want to fall into it. We're just staying as upright as we can be. Good. Good. That's it. And one more. Fantastic. All right, bring your hands down to your sides. Same thing, small press, just enough that you feel it. Hold it. Inhale, exhale, release. Good. Inhale, exhale, small press. Good. Inhale, exhale, feel it and release. Good. That's right. This position tends to help us feel ourselves ground through the heel a little more. So if the high hands makes you want to fall forward, this one should set you in your heels. Do you feel that? Yeah? Good. Good. And it should make it a little easier to connect to that hollow feeling in your belly, I hope. Unless you're one of those people who's really good at your hip flexors, and then you're going to notice that you're tightening up the front of your hip and the back of your knees in order to do that. So just self-awareness. See what's happening there. Good. And last, low one. Okay, now bend your elbows, bringing your fists up to your waist. So when I do that, I immediately, accidentally, not on purposely, arch my back more. Can you see that? So I'm gonna bring my ribs back over my hips, and now I'm having trouble keeping my toes down. Yeah? So Lisa too, when you bring your fists up here, and Deshelle to a smaller degree, watch out. Just by the raising of our arms, we are overusing our spines, right? The spinal muscle should be stabilizing the spines, not flexing the spine in a big way. And then we're gonna push forward, right from the ribs. And I want you to see, it doesn't have to be big. You can make it small. And first just see how you support it, what you can maintain. Can you maintain that lifted spine length? No, we're in Pilates stance, right? This should feel harder today. Yes, no? Okay, good. Just checking. Because it's a less stable position as far as this direction of force goes. Ooh. I know, I don't know why that turned back on. Yes, so I think what you're saying is when you get your upper abs on, it's easier to keep your toes down and vice versa. Yes, yes, that's awesome. That is a fabulous connection. I love that. So, then if you feel like you've got it, then you can take those arms all the way out and then bring them all the way back in. Mark says his arms are getting tired. Yes. Good. Now we're just going to do 2 more. I think Deshelle got something in her eye. Good. And press. Good. Now keep those arms long. Now tilt forward into your floating plank. Lift up on tiptoes. Keep the heels together. Good. Now take the arms up for your long stretch plank. Exhale, bring them back down. Okay, so that was our first one. Now the next one, we're going to keep that long spine line. Letting the spine longer. Pulling it away from your tail. And we're thinking of the spine, visualizing the back of us, not the front of us. Keep the back long. And then if you can bring your brain back to those big toes and those front ribs, you should find that they're already helping you. Yeah. Good. And one more. Good. All right. Now holding yourself on tiptoe, we're going to hinge forward. Lift your tail. Lift your tail. Keep your ribs in. So the tail is trying to stay in the same place in space. Good. And then we're going to hinge back up. See if you are still in your floating plank. Did you get something in your eye, Deshelle? Like a pirate. So the challenge for rib poppers like me and Lisa is that we have to both find the tail lift while simultaneously pulling the rib in as we hinge. Right? We're not going to arch the back. We're not going to shove our chest forward. We're really going to keep it in line. So Deshelle, we've been doing tippy toes, long stretch plank first. So here, this guy, on tippy toes in the floating plank. And now we're trying to keep the lower half of us in the floating plank while we hinge from the tail, letting ourselves do so with control. And we're in tippy toe. Yeah. Good. And then Mark and Lisa, you guys can rest.
Okay.
Yes, you can rest. And then Deshelle, you see what you feel like trying. Good. Okay. And then we're going to come. Oh, is Kathy coming?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then we're going to come down onto our knees. So, and onto the floor. So if you want something cushy there, you can grab it. I'm going to get a piece of water through the water. Yeah, and then tuck your ribs a little, Deshelle, right there. Not your tail, just your ribs. Beautiful, good. Luna Bell says, good job, Mama. Look how she wraps her tail around her leg. And we're coming down to the floor. Good. You got it. Very nice. Okay. From here, we're going to take the arms up, push forward slightly so that we can sit back on our butt. Good. All right. Hi, baby boy. And we're going to inhale and exhale. Press forward. Lengthen your spine and create a C curve. Good. Come all the way back up. So here is a place where you want to be really careful. If I just press forward and collapse everything downward, that's compression. My goal here is not compression. My goal is length, like I'm a sail, a spinnaker on a boat. How beautiful and rounded and long that is, filling up with wind in the front. Yes. Yes. Good. Feel as you round that you're actually trying to pull your C spine, your nubbin here, up towards your hands. That makes sense? The C spine, the base of the C spine is this little nubbin right here. Yes, that's lovely. What's that, Deshelle? So this is the base of your, the nubbin at the base of your C-spine. C7, the withers. If we were horses, that would be our withers. Good. That's it. And one more. And then you can roll all the way down. Keep pressing forward. All right, and then we're down. So while we're down here, we're just going to take our hands, give a little press, just feel your resistance. So depending on how close you are to your mount, you may be able to get your hands all the way down. The farther the way you are, the harder it will be. Can I have one of those circles, baby? Yeah, so just play with your resistance, see if you like it. All right, and then we are going to press forward and just hold that for a moment. See if you can feel your length on the floor. We're just breathing, so I have just enough resistance that it's a little bit of a challenge here to hold. Check your collarbones. Can they open back up? Check your low ribs. Can they slide upward towards your head along the floor? As they do that, can you keep your sacrum flat on the mat instead of rolling it under you? Good. And then notice what happens in your middle. It should just beautifully, magically turn on. Good. And arms come back up. Good. We're going to do it again. So inhale, exhale, press so you have just enough challenge to hold it. Good. Open the collarbones. Slide your low ribs up your mat. Good. Take your pelvis, put it back in neutral so you're flat on your sacrum. Good. And then release those arms upward. Yeah. Good. One more time. Collarbones. Low ribs. Then check back in with your collarbones. And then pelvis. Good. And then you should be, hopefully, transverse abdominis on all by itself. It likes the way you've lined up your bones. Good. Holding that, let's bring your right leg in a tabletop. It should be easy, just floating up. Put it back down. Left leg in a tabletop. Good. And then release your arms. We're going to repeat that. Arms press down to your sides. Collarbones, ribs, sacrum. Then lift. One leg into tabletop. Good. And other leg into tabletop. Good. And then release. Good. Same thing, starting with the other leg for 2 sets. Press down. Collarbones, ribs, sacrum. Then lift. And lift. Good. And up. So paying attention, you guys, when you get yourself lined up and then lift, what goes wonky? Does your low back automatically flatten to the ground? Do your shoulders pop up? your ribs, right? Noticing all those things. A little teeny space. Remember, this is not my low back. See this arch here? That's not my low back. That's my low ribs. Here's my lumbar spine here. So I want to bring my ribs to the mat and then put my pelvis back. Do you see the difference? Now there's a little space here, not up here. You want me to show that again? Yeah? So you and me, if we were just to lay here, we would be popping this space up. Our brain thinks that's our lumbar spine. Instead, we're going to let that come to the mat and then put the pelvis back in place. Now I have my proper lumbar. Smaller arch, but it's still there. Yeah? Okay. Alrighty. And Mark too. And Mark too. Deshelle, not as much. All right, so now we get to add a little bow. And bow, yes, after that big discussion, we are going to flatten our lumbar spine to the mat. So inhale, exhale up into bow, pressing down. Now you should feel your lumbar spine flatten to the mat, yes? Can you hold that for a breath and exhale there? Good, and then come back down to the mat. Now, inhale, put yourself back into neutral before you begin again. Exhale, allow yourself to flatten to the mat. Good. Inhale, and exhale back down. Good. Inhale, put yourself back into neutral. Exhale, come back up. Good. Inhale and exhale down. Nice. Good. And one more time, we're going to hold your bow. We're going to add some more legs. So inhale, exhale up. Good. And then take a breath. Exhale, bring those legs into tabletop. Good. Legs are going to go squeezing together away from your arms. Reach here. You should be drawing those abs toward the floor. Good. Bring them back in. Good. And two more times. Reach arms to your ears. Good. Bring it back in. Good. And arms to your ears. Good. Good. Feet return to the ground. And so do head and shoulders. Good. All right. Inhale. Exhale back up into your bow. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Legs at a tabletop. Good. Single leg stretch. So take your right leg out. Right arm up. Exhale. Switch. And switch. Good. Keep your eyes looking down between your thighs. Good. That's it. Can you get your shoulders up just a little higher? Good. And last one each way. Good. And then come all the way in and bring those knees in. Nice. Hi, precious. Okay. We're going to do one more little piece here, and then we're coming back up to a stand. So if you're thinking, oh, how much longer on the floor? Don't worry, you're almost there. So hands back up to the sky, bring them together. So you've got two, you can either clasp your hands, or you can make the classic triangle hand, the salute hand, with your thumb and your pointer on each hand together. Exhale, come into your bow. Extend your right leg. Now rotate forward to your left knee, pressing those hands forward. Inhale, exhale, switch to the other side, pressing. Good. Inhale, exhale, switch. Good. And switch. Good. So you're always going toward the bent knee. And when you cross across, your hands are still reaching forward. We don't get to give up in the middle and then press. You're maintaining that push the whole way. Yes, push. Don't let those arms bend in. Keep them straight the whole way. That's right. You're trying to create a big rainbow over your shins. Good. Good. Last one. Oop, I think you went toward your straightening leg. There you go. Good. That's all right. Good. All right, and then go ahead and come all the way down.
Yeah.
Nice. So let's warm up our hips again. I'm going to reach through my straps and grab up on the ropes. Good. And then we're going to pull both elbows down to the ground as we lift the hips up. Inhale and exhale, round down through your spine. And let the arms go back up. Good. Inhale, exhale, pull. And lift. Good. Keep the arms as you exhale and roll down through your spine. Good. And then arms go back up. Good. Inhale, exhale, pull, and lift. Good. Inhale, exhale, round. Put more space in the vertebrae. Again, think of that hanger image, right? If your neck spine was the hanger top, the rest of your spine is the beautiful flowy garment. Good. Let's do one more. Inhale and exhale, lift. Good. And roll it down. Feel good? Good. All right. One part more time, we're going to lift the hips up. And this time we're just going to alternate arm and leg with a row and a tabletop. So I've got right leg lifting in a tabletop, right elbow pulling down. Drive a little bit more into your left foot, and then bring everything back to the start. And then left pulls down, left leg lifts up. Good. Right presses a little extra. Good. And again. That's it. Good. Good. That's it. Good. We'll do one more on each side. Nice. Good. And then you can round down through your spine. Good. And then your, what's that? And then we'll take the straps off of your hands. And then stretch out nice and long. Da-da-da. Feeling your length. Good. And then arms come up toward the ceiling, strap free. And we're just going to round up to sitting. Do, 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 do. Good. And then spine stretched forward. And then round back again. Let yourself articulate. Again, if you had a rolling pin that was smoothing your spine out as you went down. Good. And on the way up, if you can remember those first half rollbacks you did with your arms up high, and we were trying to keep that space like our sailboat. Sail. Like the spinnaker on your boat. Good. And last time down. Good. And then if you're up, you can stay up. We're just going to take our hands to the side, swing around, and walk our hands in. And then we're going to pick up a weight for legs, something for your legs and hips. I drink my water already. All right. And here you can hold one or two straps in one hand, or you can grab through. If you choose one strap, you can grab through and pull on the rope if you want more resistance. So that's a nice way to temper what you're doing. If you're watching on replay, we're just waiting for everybody to get set up, that's all. Okay. Are you doing 2 straps, Deshelle? Nah. You can. You totally can. That's an option, right? So if this isn't enough, you can always pick up that second strap. And all we're going to do first is just start with our arm out to the side. And we're going to step into a second position plie. Come down into your plie, pull that arm across and rotate. Come back, open it up, step back to home. Yep. So open, pull that arm across, rotate the torso, bring it back, step to home. Good. So we're imagining sliding out that heavy spring carriage and then standing on that leg that's closest to your mount to bring it back in. And rotate. Good. That's it. So let your torso help with this arm. I don't want it to be across and then just turn your head. I want your torso to help bring that arm across you. Yep, come on, rotate your torso more. If your torso is rotating, see this weight? That means that the weight will get pulled up and down because your torso is moving further back, right? So if your weight is staying in the same place, your torso is not moving. Not likely. Does that make sense? What's that? So, yeah, here's me just a little bit. Here's me better, right? So here's the other thing that could be happening. Your torso might be moving, but you might be rotating inwardly into that shoulder, so it's not moving at all, right? Let the whole thing move. You're going to be dragging that weight across with you. Yes. Good. You find that it's what, Lisa? Right. So that was that second issue that I was mentioning, that we can rotate and see how I'm rolling my shoulder in so that my fist doesn't move at all. So we need to let the shoulder come with the torso. There's torso moving. Here's torso moving, but the shoulder's rolling in. Now I'm closing up that space. Yeah. So you stay connected to your mid-back. That's the basic idea. One side is pec, one side is mid-back. Sorry. You're doing a lot with your right leg. Let's see, to get your trunk.
It's okay. It went away.
Oh, it's pushing you. I see. Okay, that's a great. Okay, good boy. That is a great awareness. So, that has to do with how is your right glute holding you. You want to keep that right glute wrapped under you. So watching on the replay, Deshelle's noticing that her right hip is doing all the pushing. And sometimes when we pivot, we like that. But right now in this motion, I want it to be stable as possible. Yeah, so find that right hip, pull that thigh bone back. And so here's what might be happening. In that direction, you might be used to using that hip flexor or medial rotator to create your rotation, right? So see if you can. I love how you both put your weights down to think. Oh, you guys have my heart. Yeah. Right? Because if you're can you feel that, how the knee then twists? It's not like when you pivot where it's all of apart. The thing, if the foot's not coming, it's that falling motion. So instead, anchor the outside of your heel, right? The back of your tripod. See if you can get that to stay in place while you rotate. And then Lisa and Mark, you hang on. That's a lot of that motion. No, that's just, no.
That one's the lift.
I think that's one of the ones that eats the mosquitoes, isn't it?
Sure. That's pretty scary.
Right? A damselflies eat the mosquitoes, right? Sorry, we had one flew in the room and Mark was like, oh no, get it. And I'm like, wait, it might save us. So from that position, what I was hoping we would do is then come and step back into a lunge and then step back into your plie. So now we have to manage the changing load and changing direction. Yeah. So just like that. So you already had this arm forward, right, for your rotation. Now it's just pulling into your waist as you step back and out to the side in a little squat. And you don't have to go out wide. It's not a super sumo squat. More like just a nice second position wide squat. Yeah. So in, forward. In, good. And forward. Yes, that's it. Good. Good. Now when you bring the fists forward, can your booty pull back? So instead of landing on the front of your toes, can you land on the back of your heels? Oops. Yep. That's it. Solid, Lisa. Good. Whoop. On your heels. Can you sit on your heels more to show? Maybe it's camera angle thing again. You tell me what you feel. So let your, okay. Okay, good. So then that's just camera angle. So then we're gonna hold this back here. And we have this fist like this. We're gonna bring it down low. We're going to rotate, push this fist down, pull your weight up, and it may not be high. When you pull this weight up, depending on how heavy you've picked, keep that elbow close. Doesn't matter if it only makes it to here. What I don't want to see is elbows winging out in order to lift. We're going to keep it close because this is about torso rotation and mid-back on that side. So it's this motion. It's all the single ladies dance, right? All the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies, all the single ladies. You used to feel it? It's that same motion. But what we should hopefully notice after a moment is that elusive glute. Yes, on the side closest to the mount should be waking up. Good. That's it. So what we're basically doing is turning on the same muscle organization that we do when we do our big star, our big balancing star. We're just able to load it here because we're planted on the ground. Yay! Good. All right. And then from here, all we have to do is step it back upright, put that weight down, and give your hand a break from holding. On the arm that was closest to the mount, we should feel bicep, pec, front delt, all that working. The arm that was farthest from the mount with your weight should hopefully feel the same on the back, right? Back of delt, mid back, and those guys. Yeah. That's fine too. So that would make sense in you. So, right, the big muscles moving are these guys. These ones are stabilizing the forearm. So that would totally make sense. Yeah, they're stabilizing. Okay, ready to turn around? We have to switch hands.
Quarter turn.
Quarter turn. Mark and I were at a bodybuilding competition. Watching, not competing, just watching acquaintance of Mars. So it was quarter turn to the right, quarter turn. Only we need to do a whole turn. So, okay, so first we're just doing simple, right? stepping out to the side, although we've learned that it's not quite so simple, is it? And we're rotating across and then back to center. Good, and home. So step, rotate across, back to center, and home. So on this side, Deshelle, do you find that the left knee now wants to fall in? Or is it more solid on that direction? Uh-huh. So in this direction, Lisa, I want you to keep your right heel grounded, the outside of your right ankle and right heel pressed to the ground. That's the side that you have closest to the mat, yes? So as you rotate away from it, you're going to keep that right side open, open, open. Don't let that right leg fold. Open it back up. Yes, that's it. So what Deshelle was experiencing in a big way on her other side, that's what you're experiencing on this side. Oops, I didn't step back down. Look. Sorry, I was watching them not moving. Better, that's it, good. So Deshelle, if this side feels easier to manage than the other side, you don't have to do as many reps as you did on the first side. And conversely, Lisa, this side I think feels like it could use a few extra reps. Yeah? Okay. But Deshelle and Mark, if you are ready to add on that other little piece, all it is stepping back and then stepping forward, pressing the arm forward. So pulling back and forward. And for me, the hardest part is to land in train tracks rather than a curtsy. Because the strap wants us to come across, that would be so much easier. So being really sure that we're landing in that curtsy, not curtsy, woo, in the train track, right, in your clean lunge. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good, Lisa. I was watching your right leg. That was good. I could see you think to get it out. Nice. Good. Good. And then we can hold it there. We'll bring that hand down. And we're gonna pull up your weighted side, then pull up your strap side. And the strap side pushes down as you pull up the weight, right? That's it. Good, let your torso rotate around its axis. Does that feel hard to do? Sorry. Good. And then we might notice one glute is more talkative than the other, right? Yeah? All right, let's put that weight down. So again, if you keep a fitness journal, feel free to note it. You know, you can keep it off to the side, and anytime you notice what was working differently, you can write it down so that when you do your replay, you can zoom to that section, or you can just remember it and keep an eye on it as you go through whatever workout you're going through. I know. So let's just take a nice big snow angel. So facing our mount, we're going to pull those hands back, lift your chest, pull your ribs back. Front ribs have to come back to support the length through the back ribs as you arc up. Good. That's it. Good. And then pull down, let yourself roll all the way down. Stretch through the back of those legs and through your spine. Good. Round all the way back up. Big snow angel again. Find your spaces. Open the ankles, front of hip, back of knee, back of ribs. Good. And then down, rounding all the way down. Extend forward. And then pull it in last time all the way up. Good. Nice and tall. Good. And then you're going to spine twist. So take your left hand, press back. Good. It's pushing back behind you. Sorry, I'm off the screen. It's pushing back as far as you can. Put the space in that shoulder. Good. Bring it back up. And other way. Spine twist. Push back. Open the front of the shoulder. Good. And one more each way. Up. Spine twist. Still have space in the front of the hip. Back of the knee. Front of the ankle. Good. So I haven't moved my feet, right? They're just staying stacked. And spine twist. Good. And then all the way up. Let those arms come down, palms forward. Good. Let your head drop. Back up just a little so you feel a little resistance. Just feel the stretch through the back of your spine. And then let your head float up. And release. You guys, thank you. I know. Always finding new ways to find the little leaks and make them stronger.